I feel like men nowadays, oftentimes we try to suppress all those insecurities, even though they bubble up. But it's okay, to be yourself. It's okay to be unique. Luke says it the best, when the uniqueness and all those different attributes about yourself are what makes you very special.
I am here with Griffin Gluck, Luke Eisner, and I want to make sure I get this right, Jean-Louis Castellanos?
Sounds good to me. Hopefully Grandma approves.
There you go. So the first question is for Griffin and Luke. What was it like coming back to this movie and back to these characters after having played them previously? What were you really looking forward to bringing to their development?
Who's going first here?
Rock, paper, scissors, shoot.
I think Luke and I probably share very similar experiences coming back to these characters. I think these characters are definitely versions of our goofiest selves. They're not necessarily who we are as people, but they are definitely facets of our personality to a very far extreme. So I think it's fun to be able to revisit that side of you. And I think what Luke and I did a lot during this film is sort of just let go and have fun and, play around with the scenes and the lines, much to the, chagrin of the producers, I'm sure.
Yeah, totally.
The amount that we played around with the lines. But it was kind of comforting in a way to come back to those characters and be able to reopen that chapter of your life. We filmed the first one 2.5 years ago-ish. And it's kind of like hopping in a time machine. You're going back to camp and suddenly 2.5 years later, only 3 months have passed.
That is such a good way to say it. And I think, it was in the middle of this quarantine time, which I think was a very, difficult time for anyone who's making art because you couldn't do it.
And so the filming of the movie happened at the best time for me personally, because my alternative was stay inside and play video games.
Right. Exactly. So we got to go in and do what we love to do and play pretend. And it was great.
Yeah. Jean-Louis, what was it like sort of coming in as the new guy on set?
It was exciting. I had a lot of fun. I went into this with a lot of passion because it was my first feature, not only just being the new guy on set. I feel like I've always been the new guy on set. So it wasn't anything new, but I was definitely looking forward to, learning a lot from Griffin, his method, Luke as well, because these guys were a part of the original film. So I wanted to make sure that I felt right. My character was different. I wanted him to be mature because he had his self-doubt, I guess, as well. And he understood both sides of the picture or both sides of the story or insecurity. And that made me like them understanding that and me understanding them and the rest of the script and finding my place. I thought it was, it all just kind of fell into place very organically for me. And it just helped bring my excitement even more to life so that I can direct that energy to my character. And it worked. I guess I think it worked, right?
Yeah. And I feel like with your character Tommy, they kind of explored, body image issues in a way that I don't think we've seen a lot for male characters. What was it like sort of digging into that side of him?
Well, that was a side that I was lucky enough to bring myself, to the story. This character was written completely different. I don't even remember what it was. I think it might have been, I don't know, but we changed it and we wanted to bring something very impactful, something that I can tell the story personally, authentic, I guess, if that's the word I'm looking for. And it was right. It made him almost like an extension of Jodie, someone that she can talk to as well about her insecurities and him being very understandable about her situation and allowing her to see herself for who she really is and kind of like blocking that voice in her head because like I said, we're all human. Unfortunately, that's all we are. So we all have it. And I feel like men nowadays, oftentimes we try to suppress all those insecurities, even though they bubble up, but it's okay, to be yourself. It's okay to be unique. Luke says it the best when he says that all the uniqueness and all those different attributes about yourself are what makes you very special. So even for me, like, this is a personal story, but I used to be overweight. I used to weigh 250 pounds almost. So that was a story that it was fair for me to tell in a story or movie that felt like you had to overcome those insecurities, because I remember jumping into the pool with a shirt on because I didn't want people to see who I really was and stuff like that. And, still to this day, sometimes I'm like, oh, my stretch marks, and then you have a friend come and tell me, you're a tiger, embrace it. And I'm like, I love you. Thank you. So it feels really good being able to bring that to the screen.
Yeah, definitely. Now, Griffin, Dangoman was in a very different point in this movie, just because, he's moved from the best friend to the boyfriend and what that relationship looks like with Jodie. What was your favorite part of exploring that?
I think the best part about that for me was exploring those moments with Ava in the scenes, because, I spoke to the director, and Ava and I, Emily, we had a lot of conversations about, being able to like improvise or just see, where a scene takes us, or if it feels right in the moment to be able to throw something in. And, there were a lot of opportunities that she gave us to play around and talk off each other. And I think Ava and I got some of the best work that the best scene work that her and I have done together on this movie, because we got to, play around with what that means. We got to come up with our own kind of backstories and we got to decide how our characters kind of would feel in that moment and how it would align with the script. And then we just got to, be in that headspace and let loose and just, speak to each other, have an honest conversation or an argument. And that was so much fun to me. I thought it was like psychology, it's really interesting getting inside someone's head and then, being able to explore all those tiny little different facets.
Right, definitely. Now with Luke, Stieg kind of had a lot that he needed to atone for in this movie. What was it like sort of bringing that to the character?
Yeah, that's a great question. I think it was being in the first movie, everyone wanted to be his friend and he didn't understand why. And then this one, he wanted to be friends with everybody again and they didn't want him to be, and he was trying to figure out why. So I think it's the complete opposite. He's playing the anti himself from the first movie. And I think what I enjoyed about doing that was finding that those are pretty similar people. It's just your desire to be yourself and to make friends and to find your group and your herd and your tribe. So, I mean, that's not the most poetic answer, but I think it was almost the same character, just different. Yeah.
There you go. And now I guess this is a question for all three of you, just to kind of wrap it up. The karaoke scenes are really fun, digging into ABBA, Backstreet Boys, classic. Do you guys have go-to karaoke songs when you do it?
Yes.
I think I have one.
I do. Brown Eyed Girl, because everyone knows all the lyrics and can sing along with you.
There you go.
That's Live by Frank Sinatra. I feel like that's always a good hit.
Yeah.
A lot of karaoke. The one time we went out and did karaoke in New Orleans when we did the first one, I did Biggie Smalls. I think I did Big Papa, but
you did.
Can I say I had some serious swagger with it? I know every word.
He pulled it off very well.
I can see that.
You have to really commit if you're going to do a song like that. You can't do it halfway.
Also, I don't want to miss a thing, Aerosmith. If anyone will let me do it, I will do it.
OU Pretty Things by David Bowie.
These
So
are
basically,
all winners.
come do karaoke with us, Alyssa.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Hey, Tall Girl 3, I'll be there. Let's go.
Yes.
All right. Well, that's it for me. It was great talking to you guys. Thanks a lot.